What's up, everyone? This is Paul Carcaterra from ESPN. I am super pumped to be collaborating with Lacrosse Unlimited to present to you the second annual Spoonie Award winners. What an awesome initiative led by Lacrosse Unlimited's Joe DeSimone and Rob Rimmer, giving the manufacturers their just due in regards to creating and producing the sickest gear in the game. And this strikes a chord for me because when I was a young buck, I was all about lacrosse gear. The problem was, 30 years ago, the gear wasn't nearly as tight as it is today. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go through the different categories for the Spoonie Award winners for this past year. Best overall men's brand, well, that is ECD. Congratulations to ECD and Greg Canale and all the boys down in Baltimore. You have the best overall men's brand, and much deserved. You look at the way that they are able to speak to the people in lacrosse, their social media presence on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. It is awesome. You feel like you're part of the brand, and the ability to really embrace the lacrosse community. These guys are hardcore lax rats, and the people know it, man. They are niche, they are organic, authentic, and they do an amazing job. So props to ECD and Greg Canale. Greg, the only thing I would tell you is continue to work on your shooting, because last time I was down at the warehouse in Baltimore, I smoked you when we were playing a game in corner. So if you want a rematch, I'm here, bro. Just dial me up. I'll be down there, and I will beat you like a drum once again. So congrats to ECD. Best overall men's brand. Best overall women's brand, well, that's STX. They continue to dominate on the women's front, and the people have spoken. Joanna leads that group down there in Baltimore as well. Is Baltimore like the mecca of the Spoonies? I thought it might have been Long Island because that's where LU's roots are, but stranglehold in terms of best men's with ECD, now best women's with STX. But that group, as I mentioned, Joanna, who leads that charge down there, have continued to create the best women's product ever. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm looking for a lacrosse stick for a woman or even a little girl like my daughter, Payla, I'm giving it a really hard thought in terms of STX, because if that's what the people like, it's good enough for me. Best overall men's head, well, that's the Maverick Kinetic. Joey Sankey uses that head, UNC's all-time leading scorer and an MLL All-Star for the Charlotte Hounds. The shape of that head is really, really dialed, has tons of stringing holes, and it just looks good too. We are lacrosse players. Looks does matter. You look at what Joey Sankey's done, a lot of other Maverick pros are using the Kinetic too. It is a head led by Maverick's Win Freem, who's a product developer there. That's just done a magnificent job in terms of just creating better head after better head. Started with the Optic, then you had the Centric, now you have the Kinetic. So Maverick's got it going on the head front. So congrats to them for best overall men's head. Best overall women's head, well, it's STX again. As I mentioned before, they are dialed on the women's front. It's the Crux 600. Joanna and their group down in Baltimore at STX created the Crux 600. Michelle Tumalo, one of their star athletes, uses that. She is a complete baller. She's a fellow Cuse alum, and I watched her play when she was playing for Gary Gate up in the Dome. So impressed with her creativity, her ability to create offense from an expressive standpoint. Michelle Tumalo is the real deal. She uses the Crux 600, so if you're a young girl and you want to play like Michelle Tumalo, well, pick up the Crux 600. Best overall helmet, shocker, it's the Cascade S. The Cascade S launched in the 2017 playoffs in the NCAAs, and it lit the entire atmosphere up in terms of the new design, the comfort, the protection, and the look is completely dialed. So as the Cascade R launched in 2013 during the playoffs, the S launched in 2017 with some sick designs too. If you saw Notre Dame's gold helmets, the shine on them was amazing. Maryland, the national champion, wore that S helmet. as did the Cuse with the throwback helmets. Ryan Demarest up in Cascade in Liverpool, New York. He does an amazing job in terms of just working with all the different colleges and the designs and the releases of all those cool graphics on the helmets that he works with the helmet decal companies. Props to Ryan Demarest up in Cascade as their brand manager, and Tim Ellsworth, who's been with the company forever. They got it dialed on the helmet front. Last but not least, it is the best overall men's glove. It's the Maverick M4. Look, back in my playing days in the late 90s, I was playing with like coal miner gloves. Those things were baggy, took forever to break in, and they were kind of ugly looking too. Not anymore. The manufacturers have completely lit up this category. Gloves become fresher and fresher every single year in the Maverick M4. I've tried that glove on. It is like a mitten on steroids. It breaks in right away, super fresh looking, it's protective. Albany, the team that everyone's talking about right now, guys like Connor Fields and Tahoga Nanacoke, they're using the Maverick M4, so why wouldn't you? Anyway, that's a wrap. I'm down in Baltimore right now, about to call the UNC Johns Hopkins game on ESPNU. It's a Friday happy hour, 5 p.m. Get in front of your TV, watch the Baby Jays, watch the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. There is a ton of offensive talent. Hopkins is super young, led by freshmen like Connor DeSimone and Jack Keogh, those Long Island boys. Can they bring Hopkins back to the forefront and bring the Jays potentially another national title? Well, they got a lot of work to do. Last week, Loyola beat them up pretty good. Crosstown rivals beat the Jays 12-5. Carolina, they're scoring a ton of goals offensively. Defensively, they have a lot of holes, but they won the national title in 2016. Chris Cloutier was the star of Final Four weekend. He's back for his senior year, and he continues to light up defenses along with fellow Canadian sophomore Tanner Cook. That guy is a beast, 6'3", 218 pounds with Canadian box skills. This is going to be an awesome game tonight. Tune in. See ya.